It's time for Vanessa Roman's Property Perspective on News 95.7, your guide to buying or selling a home. Brought to you in part by the Villages of Seven Lakes. Now here's your host, real estate expert, Vanessa Roman.
Hello, welcome to Property Perspective. I'm your host, Vanessa Roman. And this week, we will be talking about buying houses. And for some of you listening right now, you may be buying a house for the first time this year. And as a real estate agent here in Halifax, I work with many first-time home buyers. A house is one of the biggest investments most of us will ever make. And so it's important to plan ahead and to think about what you need in a home and what you can afford. So there are a few steps that I always make my first-time home buyers go through. And step number one for me is finances. You have to figure out what you can afford to pay for a new home. You know, you have to save for your down payment. And the best way to start this process, I say, is to get an appointment with your banker, or my preference actually is a mortgage broker, to figure out how much money you have to spend on a new home. And I want to always stress to my first-time home buyers, fiscal responsibility. Just because a bank is willing to loan you a certain amount of money, it doesn't mean you need to spend every penny, because as those of us who currently own homes know, there's always something that's going to go wrong, something that needs to be fixed, something that needs to be maintained. Nobody wants to be in a situation where they have spent every last penny they have trying to afford the mortgage and not leaving enough over at the end of the day for those rainy days. The next thing I would suggest is step number 2, to get your team of professionals in place before you start your search. So you can't buy a new property on your own. You need to have this team of professionals to help guide you through the process. And the very first person that you need to have on your team, of course, is a real estate agent, and preferably me as your real estate agent if you're going to be buying here in Halifax. Choosing the right agent for the type of property that you want to buy is paramount to making a solid investment in real estate, because that really is what buying a new home is. It's an investment. And for most people, buying property is the single biggest investment that they will make in a lifetime, so choose your agent wisely. You wouldn't go to a podiatrist to get brain surgery. So don't go to, say, a commercial real estate agent if you want to buy a residential property. People that specialize in this industry will know their industry inside and out. So whether you're going to be doing a residential resale, whether you're going to do new construction, commercial, investment properties, make sure that your agent is the best one for your type of investment personally. And you want to ask them a few questions. So once you decide where you're going to be buying, figure out the agents that are working in those areas and ask them some questions. You want to know, number one, how long have they been a real estate agent? And find out what they think sets them apart from the other agents in their area. And one good way to do this is to find out how many houses they've sold in the last 12 months. And the reason that I say this is because you could talk to one agent who says they have been licensed for 10 years. So that on the surface sounds pretty good. They're an expert in the area that you want to buy in, but these guys have only sold 2 or 3 houses every year. And that really isn't going to qualify them and make them an expert. So find out how many houses they've sold in the last 12 months, because if at a minimum it is not 12, so that's only selling 1 house a month, I would be looking for a new agent, because you're going to want to have someone that has sold at least 1 a month and preferably 2 or 3 a month to represent you in this trade. Ask each agent about any professional relationships that they may have with people who can help your purchase run smoothly. So, for example, when you hire me, my team includes a mortgage broker, I have a real estate lawyer, I have a contractor, I have a property appraiser, an insurance broker, and I have an interior designer and home stager, which come as part of the package. So that really helps to assure any buyers that we have this team of professionals in place and ready to work for them. And finally, get references from clients that this agent has worked with in the past. Agents who have done their job well have clients that are willing to brag about them. So be sure to get the references and give them a call. Step number 3 is finding the right property. So your real estate agent is going to ask you a ton of questions to help narrow down the focus of your search. So things like, what part of the city do you want to live in? What type of a property best suits your needs and budget? Is it a condo? Is it a townhouse? Is it a detached home? How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you want? Are there any special needs for your property that it must satisfy? So, for example, we don't want any stairs. We need to have a large garage. We want a pool. Maybe there's a certain heating type that you want to have. Heat pumps right now are certainly one of the most popular heating systems. So is that going to be a priority for this house? What about yard space? Do you have to be close to certain amenities or school catchment areas? Once you're armed with the wish list, your real estate agent will start showing you some properties. And in my experience, first-time homebuyers need to see somewhere between 10 and 20 properties to get a good idea of what they can afford and how much of their wish list they can actually get. Remember, unless you have unlimited funds, which, let's face it, most first-time homebuyers never have, you will need to compromise on something. So once you find that perfect new property to call home, your agent is going to write up an offer for purchase on the property. And in most cases, your offer will include conditional clauses, such as subject to financing, inspection, insurance. And there may be other conditions which apply specifically to the home that you're offering on, and your agent, of course, will discuss those in detail with you. Once that offer is presented, the seller's agent will respond typically in one of three ways. They will accept your offer, they will reject your offer, or they will counter your offer. And the end goal is to negotiate back and forth until you have an accepted agreement in place. And once that happens, your agent will call upon their go-to team to remove the conditions of sale and firm up the deal. Usually this requires a property inspection, your mortgage approval, and getting a home insurance policy in place. And again, depending on the type of property you buy, there may be other conditions that you need to address as well. Once all of the conditions have been removed, the deal is considered firm, and you can welcome yourself to the land of property home ownership. Knowledge is power. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Investing in a property in any form is worth the effort when done correctly. The better prepared you are, and the more knowledge you have, the better your results will be. It's time for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we have an exciting lineup of guests on the show today. We'll kick things off with Jeremy Cowan, who is a real estate agent with Exit Realty Metro in Halifax. And then we will have mortgage broker Jack Cameron from Premier Mortgage Center in the studio with us. Later on the show, we will speak to real estate developer Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community. And finally, we will end the hour with Dean Walker from Atlantic Water Investigations. The challenge of buying a home can seem daunting to some people. Part of the fear factor comes from not knowing exactly what to expect. Our experts this week will help you demystify the process and get the most out of your big purchase by giving you the insider secrets on how to do it the only way that matters, the right way. So stay tuned and we will be right back. It's an open house not to be missed. Join me, Vanessa Roman, Saturday, March 19th from 1 to 4 for the grand opening of the newest show home in the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. There'll be home tours, prizes, and lots of fun for the whole family. The Hillcrest is a stunning, ultra-energy efficient 2-story home from Denham Homes. With 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a single garage. The main floor features an open concept design with a beautiful kitchen and spacious living and dining rooms. Have the home of your dreams in the beautiful Seven Lakes community surrounded by nature, with walking trails, a community garden, beaches, and even a toboggan hill. Don't miss the grand opening, Saturday, March 19th, in the Seven Lakes community located just off Exit 20 in Porters Lake. See you there.
Buying or selling real estate is the largest single transaction most of us will make. Hi, I'm Byron Balcom, legal counsel for Anderson Sinclair in Halifax. We're proud to provide you with experienced, professional, and friendly legal services at the lowest possible price. And now buying or selling your home has never been easier thanks to myclosing.ca. Enjoy convenient at-home signing, complete transparency, and fixed fee pricing. So no surprises. Visit myclosing.ca to find out more or call me today for a free consultation at 1-877-343-9894. Thank you.
More than 9,100 Nova Scotians sold their home last year.
And they did it with help from their realtor.
Your realtor is your trusted guide throughout the buying and selling process.
They'll listen to your needs to serve your best interests.
They will share their knowledge and experience.
And they'll advance your home ownership goals.
Learn more about how realtors can help you at nsrealtors.ca.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. Real estate transactions are complex, and you'll need a team of professionals to help guide you through the process for maximum success. One of those team members will be your real estate agent. Among other services, your real estate agent will help you find a home, write an offer of purchase, negotiate a purchase on your behalf, and save you a considerable amount of time, trouble, and headache. Here to tell us more about the importance of using a realtor for all of your property transactions is Jeremy Cowan, who is a realtor with Exit Realty Metro here in Halifax. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Vanessa. Thanks for having me in again.
So let's first start with a little bit of a market update. What's happening in HRM right now?
Well, the market was actually quite nice in January, and we're off to a great start again in February. The winter months are typically slower in Halifax, but the market, it seems to be doing very well right now. There's a lot of people that didn't sell over the spring and fall of last year, and they've kind of got discouraged and taken their homes off the market. So there's been some fresh inventory that came on, and we're actually seeing quite a few sold signs go up, which is great.
And that is actually kind of a nice boost to the spring selling market to have some good sales in January and February.
Absolutely. As a realtor, I've been at this 15 years, and if you can get yourself off to a good start in that first quarter, it really sets you up for your whole year. So we're pretty happy to see sold signs, and especially new listings. There was a lot of tired and stale inventory that's been around for a while, and now with some new listings and sold signs, it gives people more confidence again to get going.
So what advice do you have, Jeremy, for people that maybe did have their homes on the market last year, they didn't sell? If you were walking into one of those properties today, what do you tell the owner? How are you going to get it sold?
That's a great question, and I see that a lot where people do get discouraged and they interview another agent or their house expires and they want a fresh approach. It's really important to kind of open your eyes as a seller and look at things a little differently. If you've had your house listed for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or more, there's probably some reason other than just price why your house hasn't sold. I recently met a nice couple. They've been frustrated with their property. So I went through it with fresh eyes, and we made some recommendations on staging, painting, decluttering. At the end of the day, they spent about $2,000 doing some updates with lighting, a couple new toilets, just freshening up the place, removing the clutter. And believe it or not, with a professional photo shoot and a bit of marketing, we had an offer after the very first showing. So they were tickled pink.
Job well done, you, Mr. Cowan.
Thank you.
And I suppose that is a message for everyone out there. That's the reason that you hire good real estate agents. They can take your property from maybe a tired listing that's not getting any traffic or any buyers to a fresh, new opportunity on the market that gets sold.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a realtor, you have to have the confidence to give people the right information and the correct information. I would never go in and tell someone to rip out all their flooring and put brand new hardwood down at $10,000 or $15,000. But paint and cleaning and decluttering and just staging is a great way, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, and it will do the job.
So when you go and talk to people, typically, do you have a rule of thumb for the amount of money they should spend in getting their home ready?
I don't have necessarily a rule of thumb, but typically every house I go into needs some kind of work done, and it's decluttering and organizing closets. So a house that has, say you have a home on a slab, that they always look a little bit smaller as far as storage opportunities go. So it's important that those closets are really neat and organized, and that the garage has lots of extra space and bins and totes, that kind of thing. But as far as how much each time, they're all different. I don't think people really need to exceed, $3,000 or $4,000 to get a house ready typically, but often I see it a lot less than that as well.
And when it comes to those upgrades that really give buyers that wow factor, what are some of the big ticket items or even those small little changes that really do give buyers that impression that this is the house for them?
One of the things that I always focus on is, your kitchen is always your icon from when people walk into a house. That's the first thing they want to see. Your front door, same thing. They see that. Your sense of arrival is very important. So having a good door handle on your house, a nicely painted door, your cabinets with all matching hardware that all works and it's not outdated and brass and antique look, something that's a good, clean look. So I spend a lot of time in the kitchen and that first sense of arrival. So when you walk in, the front entry is very appealing, nice artwork on the wall. In the kitchen, you have good lighting, things like that. And that's really important. And a super clean bathroom goes a long way. I've got my career before real estate was in the hotel business, and you have to have a good, spotless, clean bathroom for a house to sell. So definitely recaulking, make sure the mirrors are nice, proper lighting, and good lighting. So all those things.
For those of you that are just tuning in, we are speaking with real estate agent Jeremy Cowan, and he's giving us all of his tips and advice for buyers and sellers this year. So, Jeremy, let's switch over to people that are looking to purchase a home. What is some of the advice that you can give for them?
If you're going to buy a home, it's important to do your homework. Get yourself aligned with the right people. That's the key. Surround yourself with good people, and your success will be a lot greater. The first thing to do is find a good agent, interview a few, see, not everybody's personality will match with your own. So find someone that you can feel comfortable. Often people will send out emails and look for information, and they want to see how fast an agent gets back to them and what kind of systems they have in place. And if an agent is 3 or 4 days getting back to you, might not be the person that you want. Data and knowledge is very powerful these days, and buyers want that. So get a good agent. That's the starting point. And then talk to your agent and take advice from them. As far as inspectors and bankers and lawyers, usually everybody we talk to as a realtor, we meet the public all the time, and they all say, "Oh, I'm working with this bank," and I say, "What is the name of the banker you're working with?" And they really don't have a connection, and I find that amusing. Where every day I work with these kinds of things with bankers and lawyers. I know the good ones. I know who has great rates. So take advice from your realtor and listen to them, and your success rate will be a lot better.
So, Jeremy, I know that you specialize in sort of that Fall River area. What are some of the new properties that you're seeing out there that really, from a first-time homebuyer perspective, still can really appeal to people there?
First-time homebuyers in Fall River there's not a whole lot of options, unfortunately. It's a great community. There's some bigger properties. There's a lot of people that come to Fall River as a step-up, property or a step-up move for them. They've left Lower Sackville or Cole Harbour, and they're looking for properties that have, larger lots with lots of room to run around. You could have your own batting cage in the backyard, or you can have your own soccer field, because for the most part, all the properties are serviced by well and septic, so the lot sizes are typically 1 acre to 2 acre. So there's some great, entry-level new construction as well. There's some good builders out there, but typically, a brand new home in that area, you're starting at $375 and up type of thing.
Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for coming in today. For listeners out there that would like to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
You can reach me by my website. It's probably the best. It's jeremycowan.ca, and it's a great website. And you can call me directly at 902-830-6266.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Great to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
It's time for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have Jack Cameron in the studio. Jack is a mortgage broker with Premier Mortgage Center here in Nova Scotia. And whether you are building a new home, planning to buy a resale property, or maybe you are just renewing your existing mortgage, there are plenty of options and packages available to choose from. Jack will be here to sort through all of those details for us just after this quick commercial break, so stay tuned. It's an open house not to be missed. Join me, Vanessa Roman, Saturday, March 19th from 1 to 4 for the grand opening of the newest show home in the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. There'll be home tours, prizes, and lots of fun for the whole family. The Hillcrest is a stunning, ultra-energy efficient 2-story home from Denham Homes. With 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a single garage. The main floor features an open concept design with a beautiful kitchen and spacious living and dining rooms. Have the home of your dreams in the beautiful Seven Lakes community surrounded by nature. with walking trails, a community garden, beaches, and even a toboggan hill. Don't miss the grand opening, Saturday, March 19th, in the Seven Lakes community located just off Exit 20 in Porters Lake. See you there.
When buying a home, it pays to shop around. The mortgage process can be intimidating and many Canadians pay too much in mortgage interest. Hi, I'm Jack Cameron from Premier Mortgage Center. I am here to help. As an independent Premier Mortgage advisor, I have over 40 lenders. I'll work with you to determine the best product for your needs. So whether you're buying a home, renewing, or refinancing your mortgage, I am here to help get the right financing from the right lender at the right rate. Visit me today at thewayhome.ca.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
Buying or selling real estate is the largest single transaction most of us will make. Hi, I'm Byron Balcom, legal counsel for Anderson Sinclair in Halifax. We're proud to provide you with experienced, professional, and friendly legal services at the lowest possible price. And now, buying or selling your home has never been easier thanks to myclosing.ca. Enjoy convenient at-home signing, complete transparency, and fixed fee pricing. So no surprises. Visit myclosing.ca to find out more or call me today for a free consultation at 1-877-343-9894. Thank you.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from A Buyer's Choice Home Inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyer'schoice.com.
Whether you decide to purchase a house in the country or a swanky downtown loft, your home will likely be the biggest investment that you will make. But before the keys are handed to you, there is a lot of research and paperwork to do, and that includes securing the financing for your new home. Here to tell us more about how a mortgage broker can help you find the best loan terms and rates out there is Jack Cameron with Premier Mortgage Center here in Halifax. Jack, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So talk to me a little bit about what a mortgage broker can do for listeners.
Yeah, well, the mortgage broker role is actually, it's become a bigger identity in the marketplace now, because what's happening is that some of the folks is, when they come to us, is that we have a lot more lender choices. So we sit down and do a customized mortgage plan with the clients first and foremost and understand their budget. So we get that in front of them and understand, okay, here's the budget of owning a home. But more importantly, we have access to all these lenders. And with that becomes rates. So we have a lot of rate choices that we can work with the clients with.
So when it comes to regular Joe Blow average homeowner, most of us, I would think, walk into the bank, have a little conversation with our account manager and figure out what the rate is. So the advantage of using a mortgage broker is that you have access to more banks. Is that right?
Yeah, so we would have up to 40 different lenders. I work with probably my best 7 lenders. Part of it is that we're offering discounted rates, so at no fees. And that's the other important thing, is that we do one mortgage application. We only inquire on their credit report once. That's also key. But we have preferred mortgage pricing that are generally most times cheaper than the branches or any of the banks.
So it does make complete sense. It doesn't cost anything to use a mortgage broker. And if nothing else, you are able to shop their credit file around to up to 40 different lenders to see what rates and terms are going to be best suited for their particular mortgage needs.
Yeah, I really try to match what the client's needs are as opposed to the banks, the reverse scenario. So basically, I'm sitting with the client, talking to them, what do they need and want in a mortgage, and matching that to the best product, the best rate, and really giving them the expert advice that they need.
Well, what are some of the new programs that you have for 2016 when it comes to mortgages? Like, what is a great rate this time of year?
This time of year, right now, a lot of people are looking at fixed rates. They're still at an all-time low, certainly under 3% at this point in the marketplace. Variable rate is still a low as well. So right now, it's some of the products that we're looking at are between a 4 and 5 year fixed rate. There are also some great rates on a home line of credit. So secure line of credit, some rates that are great for clients on that. But as far as new products that are out there, I mean, we're still talking about the no down payment option. That still exists today here in the local market.
No down payment?
Yes.
I actually thought that was gone.
Most think that, but we've been very lucky here in Atlantic Canada. We've got that in place here with one of the or two of the local credit unions that are participating in that. So basically, we're providing the down payment for the client, still giving them a great rate, and it allows them to get into mortgage financing sooner.
So really, you can be a homeowner right now, have nothing saved to purchase this house, and you can still qualify for zero down mortgage.
Yeah, so how that product works, it's very simple. The bank's setting up a loan or a line of credit at the branch level and making sure that they qualify for that. And then that money is used for the down payment for the new purchase. So we're really diligent about our process, so they qualify for both, but they still get client best rate. They're getting home ownership sooner than later.
For those of you that are just tuning in, we are speaking with Jack Cameron today, and Jack is a mortgage broker with Premier Mortgage Center here in Halifax. Jack, I wanted to ask you about a program that I know a lot of my first-time buyers ask me about, and that is the Purchase Plus option. So what is that program all about, and how can it benefit people that are buying houses this year?
That's a great product. We did a lot of that last year, and it's still a hot topic this year where we get in. So client goes in, looks at a home, really likes it, and things are not up to par in terms of cosmetic, or they want to change some flooring. Well, the benefit now is, we can get some quotes and cost estimates. We build that right into the mortgage product, and basically when the work is done, the money is advanced back to the client. That's the key thing. Get the work done up front, whether it's on credit terms or get the contractor to get it done for you. And we will actually advance the money when it's fully completed, but they get all their improvements up front. It's a great product.
So you can move into a property, maybe you need to have a new kitchen or some new flooring, and you can have all of those renovations done, move in, and enjoy having this brand new house basically from day one.
Day one, paint, flooring, bathroom upgrades. We can literally go up to, most times, up to 10% of the purchase price. So that's the key thing. But we'll work with the client to make sure they understand how that process works and how it's going to work on the back end in terms of getting their funds released and all that. But they typically have about 90 days to get all the work done. So there is a timeline to it, but it's a great, great product.
So Jack, for our listeners that are thinking about buying a home this year, what are some of the pieces of information that you are going to be asking for when qualifying them for these great mortgages?
Yeah, so we start at the income level. So have a look at what they're bringing in net income per month and making sure that works with their overall budget in terms of their current cash flow, what they're paying out now, and what their new mortgage payment is going to look like. So we start at that. So we really dive into the income. The next piece to that is understanding the down payment. Where is that coming from? Is it from savings, tax-free savings, RRSPs, or is it a family gift? And we really dive into those two main pieces because that's essential to making the pre-approval process in place, understanding their income and understanding the down payment. And the rest is just kind of waiting for, the other key thing we talk about is closing costs and where does that fall in.
So what are some of the typical closing costs that you would see in a property?
Yeah, closing costs would range, I would say, anywhere from 1% to 3% of the deal. It certainly depends on where they're buying, but certainly the legal fees in there. We got deed transfer tax here in Nova Scotia. The other part to that is there's some tax adjustment, oil adjustment, things like that. So I really, when I'm working with the client, we're talking about the down payment and the closing costs, so they have a full understanding that these are the costs associated with buying a home, so there's no surprises.
And I think that would be very reassuring, especially for people that haven't been through the process ever, so first-time home buyers. But even typically, I don't know too many people that buy more than, say, 7 or 8 properties in a lifetime. So every time they go to purchase a home, there is probably going to be some pieces of the puzzle that they have forgotten about.
Yeah, no doubt. The other thing is that people have acquired debt, whether it's student loan debt, maybe they need an additional car, or there's a new family member. So we constantly look at that as a cash flow thing, and what's their future budget today? What are their future needs as well? And account for that if they need a second car or what have you, and making sure that it all works into the financial budget, if you will.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for being here today. For listeners that would like to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Give me a call at 223-5225 or visit me at the website at wayhome.ca.
Thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you.
Don't go away. After the break, we are going to chat with real estate developer Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. Gail is going to tell us about the principles of conservation design, which is the basis behind her latest housing project. As well, she will share some tips and advice when tackling a new home construction project. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's an open house not to be missed. Join me, Vanessa Roman, Saturday, March 19th from 1 to 4 for the grand opening of the newest show home in the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. There'll be home tours, prizes, and lots of fun for the whole family. The Hillcrest is a stunning, ultra-energy efficient 2-story home from Denham Homes with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a single garage. The main floor features an open concept design with a beautiful kitchen and spacious living and dining rooms. Have the home of your dreams in the beautiful Seven Lakes community surrounded by nature with walking trails, a community garden, beaches, and even a toboggan hill. Don't miss the grand opening, Saturday, March 19th in the Seven Lakes community located just off Exit 20 in Porters Lake. See you there.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from a buyer's choice home inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyerschoice.com.
Going to sell it with EXIT. You're going to sell it with EXIT.
Is there a move in your future? Exit Realty Metro has over 150 agents ready to serve all of your real estate needs. We'll put the latest technology and systems to work for you. Leave your worries behind and let us take you home. Ask about our digital marketing strategy. Visit exitmetro.ca.
You're going to sell it with EXIT. Put the sign on your lawn. With Exit, you'll never go wrong.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
John, when are you going to do that beautiful bathroom remodel you promised? Honey, is that Henry the handyman in our bathroom?
Here's Chris Bowie from Beautiful Baths Renovations.
When it comes time to remodel your bathroom, you could give Henry the Handyman a try, or you could call us. To celebrate our 20th anniversary of providing beautiful bath remodels, we have a special offer on now. Visit us online at beautiful-baths.ca or call us for your free in-home consultation at 434-8088. That's 434-8088.
When you're in the market for a new home, you may be considering whether or not to buy or build a house. While the housing market offers a wide inventory of styles, price ranges, and locations, buying might not be suited to everyone's needs or desires. Building a home, on the other hand, always allows homeowners to customize the property to their unique specifications, creating a place that is perfectly suited to the habits, the lifestyle, and the tastes of their families. Here to tell us about some of the advantages of building a new home is Gail Penny, who is the president of the Seven Lakes Development in Porters Lake. Gail, welcome to the show.
My pleasure to be here.
Now, before we start talking about the Seven Lakes project, I'm curious. about you because I know you have a background in teaching.
I do.
So then what led you to become a land developer and a conservationist?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I was a teacher for 20 years, and I taught in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. Fully enjoyed that. I had a great time. I would have done it for free if I could have afforded it. It was just a calling. But I had an opportunity to come back and join our family business, our family company. And when I did that, I, of course, had to retrain and do an MBA. But part of that process involved coming to understand and take over the Seven Lakes Development Project. So I wasn't involved in the initial land purchase, but I was certainly very involved in pulling the project together and forming the concept. But I guess it's the benefit of maturity, shall we say. A different life, a past life, and then a new career, which really kind of made us recognize that we had the opportunity to create something different and pull together from different experiences.
And so what sparked the idea to create something that really kept the environmental ramifications and conservation? What was the primary motivator there for making that development?
Well, there were several things. So I guess I'd had the benefit of living all over the world, really, for 25 years and seeing lots of wonderful things. So seeing many exceptional projects. And also, I guess, recognizing that we have 2,000 acres of land and we didn't want to have a whole lot of nothing. So we needed to have an articulated concept. And, you know, I've always personally felt, having lived in a lot of different places, I've lived in basement apartments, I've lived in two-story walk-ups, I've lived in lovely homes and not so lovely homes. But I guess I've recognized that really, yeah, sure, it's wonderful to have a beautifully built home, and we certainly build them. But the most important thing is what goes on inside the house. So inside the house needs to be healthy, but there is a connection between that and your outside environment. So we really wanted to build a healthy community. And building a healthy community has a lot of different elements to it. So that connection to nature, that ability to have time to reflect and time to embrace nature was a predominant feature. So we didn't want to have, also we knew that people today were not looking for long-term maintenance commitments to their home sites. Some people love gardening. I love gardening, but I don't want to spend the whole weekend cutting the lawn. So, you know, outdoors doesn't have to mean long days spent cutting grass. So we kind of took the time to look at a bunch of different options, and conservation design was presented to us as an opportunity to have, I guess, the best of both worlds. Nature and options on home sites and the ability to interact with your community and your neighbors.
For those of you just joining us, we are talking with real estate developer Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. And we're talking about getting ready to buy a property. And in her particular case, new construction is going to be something that's on the list. And she's telling us all about the conservation design of the Seven Lakes project. I know that some of the material that I've seen about Seven Lakes talks about villages. So what's the idea with the villages in this development?
Well, conservation design kind of harkens back to the way communities functioned historically. So where you had community clusters where people kind of knew each other, interacted, dealt with each other, and played with each other. And then there were larger land spaces where, you know, the industry happened or people had recreational spaces. So it's like that for us. We have homes that are clustered together. So little villages where you are close to your neighbor, but not, you know, right next door. And we also then have large areas that are left undisturbed for nature reserve.
And I know one of the other interesting things that I saw, well, there's a few, but the one I loved, especially given the winter months we're having right now, are the toboggan hills.
Yes.
So for the kids to get out there, parents to get out there and have fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun there. Also, we have, so there is a nice toboggan area and a beautiful playground area, but we also have a reconditioned wetland, which is turned into a fabulous little skating rink. So it's perfectly sheltered, very safe, and a wonderful place for a hockey game.
And what are some of the other amenities? Because I know in the summer months, you have like the butterfly garden,
yes,
don't you?
That's right. We do. We have a butterfly garden. We also have an area where residents can kayak and store their kayaks and have a barbecue area. But actually, I was just talking to a resident yesterday, and he said he's enjoyed the recent snowfall because he's been out cross-country skiing and getting ready to snowshoe. So our residents are generally showing up with their ATVs, their kayaks, their dogs, and their sports equipment. So they're definitely outdoor people, but they're also community people. They like talking to each other and being a good neighborly way.
And I suppose that is another unique feature about this development is that it feels like you're trying to build a community where everyone in the community uses the amenities of the entire area.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But the nice part about that is Porters Lake is already an intact community. So it's a lovely little spot. It's a very little precious place. It has, a superstore, liquor store, physiotherapists, doctors, dentists, restaurants, all of those things, community centers, new schools. It's wonderful in its amenities sense, but it still has the feeling of being connected to a community. And that's what we're hearing from our new residents is that they are being very welcomed into the community. So it's great.
And for listeners that are interested in maybe starting a new construction project, what's the best way to come and experience everything that Seven Lakes has to offer?
Well, come on out and visit us at the Experience Center. We are open from 11 till 7 every day, and it's a great spot. In fact, it's won a national award for being an exemplary experience center, and we're there ready to show you about conservation design and to show you the amenities that are close by, and we're only 25 minutes from the bridge.
Well, thank you so much, Gail, for being here and sharing everything about the Seven Lakes community with us.
It's my pleasure.
If you would like to get some more information about building a new home in the Seven Lakes community, check out their website, sevenlakescommunity.com, or go on out to their Experience Center. It's open 7 days a week from 11 till 7. After the break, we will be speaking to Dean Walker from Atlantic Water Investigations. Dean says that having your well water and septic systems inspected before you purchase a home is important, but so too is maintaining these systems correctly after you move into your new property. He'll be back with his tips and advice for current homeowners and future buyers. So stay tuned, we'll be back just after this. It's an open house not to be missed. Join me, Vanessa Roman, Saturday, March 19th from 1 to 4 for the grand opening of the newest show home in the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. There'll be home tours, prizes, and lots of fun for the whole family. The Hillcrest is a stunning, ultra-energy efficient 2-story home from Denham Homes. With 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a single garage. The main floor features an open concept design with a beautiful kitchen and spacious living and dining rooms. Have the home of your dreams in the beautiful Seven Lakes community surrounded by nature, with walking trails, a community garden, beaches, and even a toboggan hill. Don't miss the grand opening, Saturday, March 19th, in the Seven Lakes community located just off Exit 20 in Porters Lake. See you there.
When buying a home, it pays to shop around. The mortgage process can be intimidating and many Canadians pay too much in mortgage interest. Hi, I'm Jack Cameron from Premier Mortgage Center. I am here to help. As an independent Premier Mortgage advisor, I have over 40 lenders. I'll work with you to determine the best product for your needs. So whether you're buying a home, renewing, or refinancing your mortgage, I am here to help get the right financing from the right lender at the right rate. Visit me today at thewayhome.ca.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from a buyer's choice home inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyer'schoice.com.
In rural areas throughout Nova Scotia, many homes don't have connections to municipal water and sewer lines. Homeowners rely on privately owned or shared wells as their drinking water source and individual septic systems to treat and discharge their wastewater. Here to tell us more about how to ensure your well water is safe to drink and your septic system is functioning correctly is Dean Walker, a professional geoscientist and the owner of Atlantic Water Investigations. Dean, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Vanessa.
So let's talk about buying a house because we are sort of starting the spring market and people are buying properties that have well and septic systems. So what kind of tests should be done on these types of systems?
One is definitely water quality. People should look at concerning themselves about the health of their family and is there any chemicals in the groundwater that could have an impact, causing taste, odor, color, staining challenges. Also, quantity. Is there enough water in the well to sustain their family requirements? It's different than living in the city, turning on a tap and not having to worry about it. In the country, you're responsible for your water supply.
And then when it comes to your septic systems, what sort of testing do you do for those systems?
Well, there's a number of different types of tests, but it also depends on the availability of the septic system. Your septic has two parts. There's a septic tank and there's a septic field. Some people are happy with the septic tank pumping inspection, which is done by a septic pumper, which is written into the real estate clause to be done if it has been pumped within a 2-year period or if there's no documentation to show. The other ones are what we call a septic field evaluation. And your septic field has a number of components. There's a pipe in the field. That pipe is over a layer of gravel where the liquid flows, and then there's the natural soil. So people want to know, okay, is my septic field functioning right? Then there's this dye test that can be done and running what we call a cycle load of water. A cycle load of water is a family of 4 get up in the morning, flush toilets, have showers, might put on a load of laundry. That runs about 60 gallons of water over an hour period. In the afternoon, some families might run 2 or 3 loads of laundry, a light, dark, and a mix. Even at 30 gallons a load with low flow, that's 60 to 90 gallons going out into a septic system. So this dye test will help to determine if there's any issues regarding saturation of the ground above the bed or if there's any suspect areas around the septic field that people might have walked as part of their first tour of the property, smell something in the air, see something wet or moist. The dye test can help to determine if there's any of that liquid leaching up or leaching out of the septic system.
Now, what is the benefit of that dye? What results do you want to see in a healthy septic system?
You don't want to see my dye leaching out. We don't want to see any increase in saturation flow of the liquid coming up above the ground. Basically what's happening is I talked about there's component to your septic. In the septic field, there's this 4-inch pipe that has 2 holes on the bottom third that are spaced 6 inches apart. That pipe is laying in a trench. It's about 1.5 meters wide, 3-5 feet wide. That's about 75 feet to 100 feet long. So the pipe is just the medium for flow. So when this dye test is going on, the liquid is flowing out of the tank, fills up the bottom third of this pipe, and will now start to drain down through the gravel. And it goes in 3 directions. It goes straight across the top of the gravel. It cuts down through the gravel and goes off around the outside edges of the gravel. Now in this liquid, there's a bacteria that's anaerobic. It cannot live in oxygen. So the functioning of the septic field when we're doing the dye testing is that this liquid, when it comes in contact with the gravel, little air void spaces, as soon as it hits it, the bacteria dies really fast. And then what happens is whatever energy is left seeps into the soil underneath the gravel. And in that soil, there's little bugs and microbes that eat the stuff up and will secrete water. But what happens is over time in the septic bed is that the liquid has will mix with the fine clays and silts in the soil. They're called platelet minerals. And it creates what we call this scum layer. It's a biozone that compacts down and the liquid cannot pass down through. So one of 2 things. The liquid will bubble up or the liquid will seep off to the side down slope of the septic bed. So the dye testing is helping to determine, okay, is there any liquid leaching up out of the ground? Is there any suspect pipes that one might think is associated with the septic system? Or if there's a stream or river or water body nearby, is this green starting to ooze up? It can take, well, I've seen it within 4 toilet flushes very fast to within 3 days, my liquid coming out. I'll leave a site and within 6 hours I'll get a phone call when clients have come back, maybe when they're doing a home inspection. I might have been in before the home inspection, and they suddenly see my green dye coming out in an area that I red flagged. I put little markers around to say it's a non-invasive investigation. There's no digging. There are some people that will do a camera scope from the tank into the field, but again, that depends on the availability of the access point. Some of those tanks are a couple feet down. So when you're listing a property and someone's going to come into a septic, is it realistic for them to start digging up the septic tank 5 feet down? You're going to leave a big hole and a mess in their front yard. Looks like a war zone. Now, how do you stage your property? The other thing is that scope is only telling me if there's flow out of the pipe. There might be some liquid in the pipe, but it's how people interpret the results of that video investigation. I've seen where people have been failing septic systems doing these scopes when there is no issue with the septic field. They've actually run a lot of water ahead of time. They've saturated the bed, and or they'll put the camera in and they'll run water while it's in there, and then they don't wait the proper period of time. Remember what I said? If you think in cross-section, I'm a geologist. I cut down. There's this pipe over a layer of gravel. The liquid is going to be seeping into the gravel below. So it takes about 5 to 8 minutes for the liquid to slowly start to seep out to those little holes in the bottom third of the pipe. Some of these guys with the camera are putting it in, and it's right in the bottom third of the pipe. So it looks like it's saturated and it's flooded, and that's not true. So it's how that type of investigation is interpreted. But the dye test is the test to determine if there's leaching or suspect areas people can see. Sometimes it's obvious. When they walk a property, they can smell something, or they see this pooled area. And they go in the house, they flush the toilet, or the home inspector will run some water, and suddenly they see an increase in saturation flow. You don't need me to do a dye test if you've seen that. But if you wanted to confirm it, to make it valid, then that helps to determine. But that doesn't necessarily mean the field has failed. It means that there is an issue. And different fields are constructed in various ways. You can have it where the pipe is teeing off in 2 directions and the pipe is laid one direction more than another. So all the liquid's going to flow one way. So half of the bed may have not even received any liquid over the 17 years. Somebody comes in and do this inspection, whereas the other half is now saturated and you see some pooling. So it depends on how you approach your investigation for your septic. So those are the common services. One is a dye test. The other one is a camera scope. It just depends on availability and accessibility.
Wow, that is a ton of information. You obviously know your septic systems inside out and backwards, and that's why everyone who is going to be buying a house, or maybe someone that currently has a property and wants to investigate some of their septic issues, definitely should be giving you a call. Is there a website that you could send listeners to get some more information?
Yeah, there's 2 really good websites. One, Wastewater Nova Scotia has a website which talks about all certified people for on-site septic. Pumpers, installers, QPs like myself, septic people, and engineers. Then there's the Nova Scotia Groundwater Association. It has a great website and links to videos showing about wells and construction of wells. Also, Nova Scotia Environment has an excellent website, and there's a link called Drop on Water. So just Google Nova Scotia Environment Drop on Water. It has all sorts of documentation on wells and septic. Facts a homeowner should know before